Hey guys, it's Sim in this Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. Now, as far as Dynamite does go, I liked the show. I thought it went by really quickly. I thought it was really easy to watch, but here is my one issue. And I know you're going to say, oh, Tim, you always got to complain about something, AEW. We had 3 matches in the Continental Classic. All really good matches, but none of them felt important. None of them really felt like they mattered to me, and that's just my opinion. And I mean, at least for Darby and Brody King, it's like, oh, we just saw this match about a month and a half, 2 months ago at the pay-per-view, Wrestle Dynasty. All of a sudden, now it's a big important match in the Continental Classic, when it was a pay-per-view match that had no stakes and was not important. Now, all of a sudden, because it's in this tournament, like, that's my one thing. Nothing feels important. Even when you say tournament, the winner gets the Continental title, you know. But what does the Continental title really mean? It's just another belt amongst 16 other belts, if you count Ring of Honor and so forth. So it's just like, I'm not hating on it because, again, everything we got tonight was really, not everything. The Jay White beatdown was pretty shitty. But everything we got tonight, for the most part, I really enjoyed. I thought this was one of the better episodes of Dynamite we've seen in a while. But it's just, nothing feels important. Nothing feels like it has stakes. And everything feels like, oh, I've seen this before, or that's random, whatever. So that's the issue with AEW. They don't make things feel important. Even when they try to tell you it's important, it still doesn't feel important. Continental Classic doesn't feel important. That's my one gripe with this show. But we've also got Luke over here with us as I go to turn my fan on. Luke, what'd you think of the show?
It was a good episode of Dynamite tonight. I think my only question is, so is Okada like no longer the Continental Champion?
So, Excalibur said this. So there's a couple, let's just get this right off the bat. There is a couple changes to the Continental Classic. Last year, the Continental Classic ended at World's End with just the main event. Just the finals. The Blue League winner against the Gold League winner. Yet, we're not getting a straight up Blue League winner and a Gold League winner this year. Kind of, we are, but not really. The couple of changes are, A, Okada will still be recognized as the Continental Champion throughout the tournament. But if he doesn't win the tournament, he loses the belt. That's what Excalibur said. B, instead of just the league winners going to World's End, the top 2 will be going to World's End. So basically it will be the Gold League winner will face the Blue League runner-up. The Blue League winner will face the Gold League runner-up. Then the winner of those matches will then face in the finals of the Continental Classic. Yeah, a little convoluted and a little overbooked for my enjoyment. Like, no, just do the whole Blue League. By the time you get to pay-per-view, whoever's number 1 is number 1. Do the whole Gold League, and by the time you get to pay-per-view, whoever's number 1 is number 1. I get New Japan kind of changes up the G1, and they have like finals and semifinals now with points and the top 2 here and the top 2, but they still keep group to group and then the group final and group winners face off. So I'm not a big fan, and I get it. They're trying to make it like, you know, the NCAA tournament or wild card in football and whatnot, where it's like, all right, well, you have the top ranked guy here is going to face a lower ranked guy here. And then, no, I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of the gold winner's got to face the blue runner up. Like, what? Come on. So those are the 2 big changes. I guess the Continental title thing's not a change since we didn't have a Continental champion last year. Well, I guess it is a change because only the Continental Championship is up for grabs. I think I heard them say maybe the winner gets something else, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I saw somebody say that the winner might also get a world title shot, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you heard that or not.
I did not hear that, actually.
Yeah, I didn't either, but then I saw someone tweet it, and I thought I heard someone say it on a podcast today, so I don't even know. I don't think most people even know exactly what's going on leading into tonight's show. And that's the bad thing. They don't relay everything. It's kind of just like, here's my other big gripe with AEW. Why are you announcing matches so late at night? This Queen Aminata Jamie Hayter match was announced at, I want to say like 9 o'clock Eastern last night. Why are you announcing matches when people are probably already in bed? And then you're going to tweet more, and then more people are going to tweet over that. And then when you go open your Twitter in the morning to your timeline, that tweet that was announced overnight is now buried in a bunch of other tweets that people aren't going to see because, yeah, it's just a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But overall, like I said, not a bad, actually a good episode of AEW Dynamite. One of the better ones we've seen in some time.
Yeah, like I thought tonight we had some good matches. We had some decent promos. Did they have some errors? Yeah, but like not every wrestling show is going to be perfect. So.
Right.
But overall, I thought it was a decent show. It was. I thought it was easy and a little quick. I was like,
yes.
geez, over already? Because they did end at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no overrun.
Overrun, because there's been a lot of overruns.
I don't know what the call was on that one. I know people have been complaining, and it might be an AEW thing, might be a TBS thing, might be a YouTube TV thing. People have been complaining about how YouTube TV doesn't give them the overrun. It cuts at the top of the hour. For DVR.
Yeah, I was about to say, like YouTube TV, they don't cut at the top of the hour.
No. What it is the DVR cuts out and stops recording at the top of the hour. And so some people, now granted, what YouTube TV does is after 24 hours, your DVR recording just becomes the VOD, video on demand recording. And so the video on demand does get the overrun. And after about 12 to 24 hours, then you're going to get that overrun on there. But if someone's like saying, oh, I can't watch Dynamite live, I'm going to go watch it tonight before I go to bed, it's on my DVR, you're going to miss. Like West Coast people. Because the last couple of weeks, including tonight, the show's been running live coast to coast. And so people on the West Coast, it's airing at 5 o'clock. I know a lot of people on the West Coast that are on their way home from work not watching television. So they're going to hope that it records in full and they can watch it once they get home, start late or whatnot. So that is an issue that they've been having. So I don't know if that was why they didn't do the deal tonight. But yeah, no overrun. Because I realized that too. I was like, oh, it's already over. Okay, that's interesting. But we'll see how it all does go from there. Also, guys, after we do talk Dynamite, we are going to do our predictions for WWE Survivor Series. That comes up this Saturday. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question read live on the air and you're watching on YouTube, you can hit that super chat button to donate a super chat. Remember to follow us by hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. You know when we post new videos, know when we go live, and know when we post to the community tab. If you want to support in another way, you can hit the join button and become a channel member. Even if it's just at the $1 tier, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting that new Juice World skin in Fortnite that just dropped tonight. Maybe you're going to get into the new Japanese Hunters season of Fortnite, Chapter 6, Season 1, that comes out this Sunday. You're going to have to get that through the Battle Pass, and get that through the Epic Games deal and whatnot, and use this code. You got a creator code. It asks you on the Epic Games Store, and it asks you in the Fortnite shop. Hey, do you have a creator code? And you do have a creator code. It is PWU NLIMITED. If you don't get it for anything but one thing, get it for Baymax. Baymax is going to be a skin in the next season of Fortnite, And I can't be more excited for that one because I love Big Hero 6. I love Baymax. Give me Baymax 2 ways in and out of the armor. Come on, Epic, do it. Use code PW Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. We're also brought to you by Orframes, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So as far as Dynamite does go, show kicks off with a November Rain recap video of Full Gear. Now, let's just say it right now. What's the big deal about this November Rain song? I have no context for it. I have no connection to it. It means nothing to me. So everyone's like, oh my God, November Rain. They got the video hyping up the pay-per-view. And this is it. I'm like, okay. I saw that 9-minute video and it did nothing for me. And everyone's like, what's the song? I'm like, okay. I never heard the song before. Maybe, but not that I remember. I have no connection to it. So it didn't work for me. Because it's like, oh my God, it's going to get so many people hyped up. I'm like, really? Because I don't know the song. Do you know the song November Rain?
I think I've heard like once or twice. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, no, it sounded vaguely familiar to me. Like I may have heard this somewhere, but I couldn't confirm. I couldn't be like, oh yeah, I've heard this song before. No, it was like, I think I've heard it, or maybe I've heard parts of it. I don't know. Again, yeah, I remember when I was little and we lived in Los Angeles, my parents listened to country and rock. Then when we moved up in the mountains, it was all country. A little rock, but not much. So it's like, I didn't grow up on oldies. Because it's like, what's this, from the 70s or 80s or whatnot. Sorry if I'm all wrong on that. I just don't know the song. And so like using it, and I get it, Tony's going to get his money's worth. Use it multiple times. But it's just like, for me, I have no context to the song. So it's like when people are like, oh, it's so cool. It's got me hyped up and invested. It's like, not me. Not me. You could have used any song. You could have literally used any song, and I would have felt the exact same. So we get that to kick off the show. We then get, I want to say there was like a second video as well. And the show actually didn't nothing got going till like 5 minutes in, which is not normal for AEW. It is not normal that we go 5 minutes without hearing Excalibur. Welcome to AEW Dynamite. I'm here with Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness. It's like, oh, damn, 5 minutes in. Anyways, finally do hear Excalibur. And he tells us that tonight, the show will be kicking off with a Blue League match in the Continental Classic. He then reiterates, remember, no one's allowed at ringside for these matches. But before this match begins, we're going to hear from MVP as he comes out with Shelton Benjamin. So they also tell us that, the rules have changed a little bit. 20-minute time limit still. 3 points to the winner, 1 point to a draw, 0 for a loss. And then that's when he tells us the change to the World's End semifinals of finals now. Now there's semifinals of finals. And so the Hurt Syndicate make their way to the ring. MVP has an official announcement to the audience. Seeing as they're in Chicago, it's fitting to say he's standing between two of the finest to ever grace a wrestling ring, and compares Shelton Benjamin to Walter Payton and Bobby Lashley to Michael Jordan. The crowd chants for MVP. He was supposed to get, I assume, heat on that, thinking that the crowd's going to boo and be like, oh, boo, Bobby Lashley, no Jordan. But no, the crowd cheered and chanted for MVP. So I don't know. I could be wrong on my thinking there, but I'm pretty sure that didn't go the way MVP wanted. MVP then heard the chants for him and was like, oh, it's not about me. It's about the Syndicate and the lessons we will teach. He said, when he offers you a business card, it's your golden ticket. If you turn them down and are arrogant like Swerve Strickland, as they throw it to highlights of Lashley beating Swerve at Full Gear, MVP says that Strickland isn't the most dangerous man in AEW. Bobby Lashley is the walking Armageddon. Their mission.
Haven't heard that.
Huh?
Haven't heard that line since his TNA days.
Right?
Because that's what he was called when he was in TNA or Impact Wrestling.
When him and MVP were together there. So he said their mission statement is to take championship titles and leverage them to make more money and have more power. They are the merchants of misery, and tonight Benjamin will show just how capable they are. They're the best in the industry at hurting people. So it's like, all right, cool. But hasn't Shelton already lost? Didn't Shelton lose to Swerve? So if you're building you guys,
Shelton lost to Swerve.
if you're building your three up as this undefeatable trio, well, Shelton's already lost. And I don't even think Shelton goes to the finals or semifinals of this tournament. I see Shelton getting a couple wins. I don't see Shelton going and being that number 1 or number 2 in the Blue League. I mean, Blue League has Okada, Fletcher, Garcia, Mordos, Brisco, and Benjamin. I see the final 2 of this being Okada and Fletcher.
Also, like, my whole thing is, they're called the Hurt Syndicate. Their whole thing is, yeah, we hurt people. They should be having these guys being like squash matches.
Oh, I've been saying that for a while too. Yeah, I've said that too. You should be squashing guys. Like, Bobby did that first match last week, that handicap match. I feel like he gave them too much. It was like a minute and a half. Should have gone 30 seconds. He should have laid them both out, pinned them together or something. The Roman Reigns used to say, someone will stack you and pin you. And yeah, I've already said, I don't remember exactly.
You know, Tony Khan always likes to have his like absolute bangers every time.
And that's my other thing with Swerve leading up to the Bobby Lashley match. They needed to build up Swerve and show him as this threat to Bobby Lashley. We know Bobby Lashley is a beast, an animal. He's, hard to beat. And with Swerve, it's like, no, you want to give him decisive wins. Yes, he won all of his matches leading up to the Bobby Lashley match, but he got beat up so much in those matches. Then the Shelton Benjamin match, the Leo Rush match. He took so much of those matches that he shouldn't have taken. And it's like they sacrifice the story and the build for, we need to have a good banger match. So it's not all about getting your stars, your star ratings. It's all about telling the story within a match. And you needed to tell the story of, hey, Swerve's coming off of some big losses, so he needs some decisive wins. Not, oh, he almost lost to Leo Rush, of all people. So that is a big issue that I'm not the only one that says this. I've heard other people say this too about Tony Khan's booking. He likes to do too much, back and forth. And it's like, oh, you're going to win? Well, let's let the other guy shine for a while in the match. No, that's okay in some matches. But in a lot of cases, the guy that's winning is going to win to build up to something. So he needs a decisive, dominant victory. Doesn't have to be like 90-10 dominant, maybe 70-30, 80-20 dominant. But it doesn't need to be these 55-45 matches we've seen with Swerve the last couple of weeks, if that makes sense.
Also, what'd you think of the Hurt Syndicate's theme song? I know you're not much of a theme song guy, but like, have you listened to it enough?
No. Like when I hear it and it plays, I can't even understand it when they play it on TV. I haven't gone back and like listened to it on the YouTube or anything, but it's like when I hear it and they're coming out, I can barely even hear it anyways. That's like, I'll talk about it later. Freaking Kyle O'Reilly came out in the Adam Cole segment. The music hits and I go, who the hell is coming out here? And then it says conglomeration on the screen and I go, oh, it's probably Kyle. I had no freaking clue who was coming out. I can tell you right now, I've probably never heard that theme song.
Yeah, I understand your theme songs, man.
So, yeah, no. Like,
no, like understanding your theme songs is like important to know like who's like coming out.
Exactly. Like Swerve, you hear Swerve's music, and granted, Swerve's got that hook at the beginning where it says, whose house? So then oh, this is a Swerve song. But even the song, that's Swerve. When MJF's music hits, his royalty-free music from the YouTube music library hits. That's MJF coming out. Will Ospreay's music, that's Will Ospreay. Because it's just got these certain notes and moments in the songs that the hook that gets you. Then you got like Kyle O'Reilly's music. You've got, just other people's music, Jamie Hayter's music, Queen Aminata. Maybe we don't see him enough, so we don't hear it enough. But it's like, I hear this music, I go, who's coming? Oh, it's them. Oh, it's him, her, whatever. So it could just be we haven't just heard the Hurt Syndicate music enough. And then me not paying attention half the time in entrances anyways, so.
Know your theme songs, man.
Hey, I try.
Do you not listen to like wrestling theme songs like when you're on the road or anything?
Never. When I'm in a car, it's
Really?
99% of the time a podcast or
Interesting.
country music. That's just what I like.
Yeah. Honestly, the Hurt Syndicate's theme is actually a banger. I think it's better than the Hurt Business theme song in WWE.
Huh. I knew the Hurt Business theme. And Bobby's.
Probably because this one, the Hurt Syndicate, actually has lyrics. Like the Hurt Business, that's just instrumental.
True.
And plus, MVP's rapping it, so MVP's actually a pretty good rapper.
Oh, I loved his WWE theme. I'm coming. Yeah, no.
Like that was him. Him that was singing that.
Yeah. No. Like first time I heard MVP's theme, I'm like, well, this is cool, and it stuck. It's one of those songs. You find something, you create something that sticks with the fans. MVP's WWE theme always stuck with me. Especially back in the day when they do the ticking clock, the tick, 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 tick. I'm coming. I don't know if you were you watching when he first came to WWE on SmackDown back in like 2004, 2005?
Not really, no.
He had like such a cool theme. He literally, so you know how when you'll go to like a high school football game and they'll have the little blow up tunnel and the rest of the team will run out the tunnel?
Yeah.
MVP had himself a little blow up tunnel he would come out of on the stage. You'd hear the clock, the ticking, the tick, 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 and you go, I'm coming. And then he burst through the little blow up tunnel.
I remember he always did the.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But when he first came out, he had that blow up tunnel thing. And I'm like, oh, that's cool because it's different. It was different. You're doing things to stand out and make yourself different. And that's what MVP was doing. The, at the time, highest paid athlete in SmackDown history.
Oh, yeah.
So as far as this match does go, it was the opening match of the Continental Classic, first match of the tournament. The only Blue League match we got tonight was Shelton Benjamin versus Mark Briscoe. They did talk about their history because they've shared the ring 10 times in tag team action in a Ring of Honor, where it was the Briscoes versus World's Greatest Tag Team. And then they're also once in a Battle Royal together in Ring of Honor, and once in, I want to say, it was like an 8-man tag, maybe something like that. But as far as World's Greatest Tag Team versus Briscoes, 10 times they faced off in Ring of Honor. Never in this was their first singles match together. So Briscoe had to stare down with Lashley as he came out for the match, and MVP and Lashley were leaving. Because remember, you can't stay at ringside or you lose your job, basically. You can't stay at ringside, you can't interfere, or you lose your job. So, seemingly we had a code of honor here. Benjamin tried to pull Briscoe in, who quickly threw a chop and a dive to the outside. Briscoe tried to fire up the crowd, but the delay led to an overhead suplex by Benjamin, who drove Briscoe into the steps and wanted a count out. Briscoe recovered, brought Benjamin back into the ring, and hit a somersault dive, landing on his feet. Briscoe then went up top as Benjamin sprung up, most athletic guy you ever see, scale the ropes, and hit a superplex as things go to commercial break. I'll say it here, I've said it before. Shelton Benjamin is usually, if not always, the most athletic guy in the company.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Benjamin then remained in control as things came back from the break until Briscoe started no-selling and firing up. Palm strikes backed up Benjamin, allowing Briscoe to fire off some chops and a rolling Death Valley driver. Up top again, Briscoe successfully hit the froggy bow, but clutched his own rib in the process. Benjamin then rolled outside, but Briscoe hit another elbow from the apron. Back inside the ring, Briscoe wanted a third, but Benjamin got his knees up and ate a series of German suplexes before Briscoe put on the brakes with an enziguri. Benjamin then avoided a J-driller and hit a rewind kick, followed by a step-up corner knee and a monster thrust kick for a 2, where Excalibur said, If Mark Briscoe already hadn't lost his 2 front teeth, that kick there from Benjamin would have knocked out his 2 front teeth. Benjamin then hit another flush kick to the face before hitting a T-bone suplex and picking up the victory, gaining the first 3 points of the Blue League in the Continental Classic, which now puts Shelton essentially at the top of the Blue League. So really good matches. I thought these two worked phenomenal together. What'd you think of the match?
I thought it was a pretty good match. Like, I thought it was a pretty good opening match to have. I thought the segment was good.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and I thought the match was good.
So as far as
they did kind of tease in the beginning, Bobby versus Mark Briscoe.
Oh, well, yeah, because they're met on the ramp and this. Yeah. I mean, it could happen eventually.
That.
Yeah.
Most likely. I don't know. I just think if Bobby Lashley and Mark Briscoe feud would just be kind of weird.
Oh, for sure.
Like, how that really fit.
So moving forward, we got something that was both good and not all that good all at the same time. Tony Schiavone's up on the stage. He welcomes out the TBS champion, Mercedes Mone. Mercedes comes out. There's balloons on the entranceway. She comes out with Camille. Camille still got the sling on. And she does her thing. Chicago, say hello to your CEO. Tony Schiavone then said, Mercedes, you and Chris Statlander had a heck of a match this past week at AEW Full Gear. It is the longest women's match in AEW history. And some are saying women's match of the year. What are your thoughts? And she says, well, you know, Tony, it feels like money. I'm like, the fuck did she just say? She's trying to say money? Monet? She's like, it feels like money. I'm like, what the? Did you notice that? Where she said Monet or money really weird?
Yeah, I noticed that.
I was like, what the hell? And then she took the mic and she started talking and this and that. She's like, I'm the greatest TBS champion of all time, this and that. And then she kind of goes, and that, a real woman gets things done. Camille, and then Camille stops her. And I'm like, oh, they're doing this trope. You can't fire me because I quit. Camille's like, shut up. Are you stupid or are you dumb? You know, that's the thing that Mercedes had been saying to Camille. Camille then does the line of, well, you know what? You can't fire me because I quit. Crowd starts chanting, you deserve it. Camille walks off and I'm like, oh, that felt really fast and quick and rushed. And it's just like, oh, it's over already? Like the story of them being together, Camille being the muscle, Mercedes being the, oh, I'm going to have her do things for me because I don't really want to heal. I feel like this went by really fast. Like they didn't. There's nothing here that's got me going, oh my God, I need to see Camille beat Mercedes. Because I guess they've been together for what, 4 months now? But the whole Mercedes now belittling, talking down to, and berating Camille stuff, it's only been like 3 weeks. So it feels rushed of why Camille no longer wants to be with Mercedes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, I get that's where they were going all along. You can tell from the start. But the whole Mercedes turning on her, Mercedes talking down to her, Mercedes not respecting her for what she could do anymore, just felt like it came quick and ended quick. And all of a sudden it's like, what? Is this the World's End match? Is it going to be at Winter is Coming? We don't even know. And yeah.
I had to predict probably World's End because they probably want to keep like the injury as a storyline.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta build it up to where you go a couple more weeks, and then Camille finally goes, "Hey, I've been cleared," and then she hits for like a clothesline or something.
Yeah.
And then we also already have a women's title match on Winter is Coming with Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. So we got a cool little video package recapping all the boom that AJ and the Costco guys dropped on QT Marshall at the pay-per-view. So did you hear?
Screw those guys.
This ain't a one-time thing. They're coming back. Did you hear that?
I did. Screw those guys.
So, Fightful was wrong in stating that AJ was hurt before the match. AJ said that he was hurt during the match, broke his foot in the match. He thinks on the flying clothesline. He said he will do more with AEW. He said he will get in the ring again, and he's got about a 6 to 8 week recovery window for the broken foot. But then stated, because he posted a video on social media, but also stated that in the interim, while he's injured, he may still be doing things and creating content with AEW. So it worked. It got a lot of eyeballs on that show, that pre-show, and that Rampage. So, hey, if it's working, go for it. Because I heard AEW saw all that and was like, WWE saw all that and may try to swoop them in. So, Tony, lock them down.
Didn't they want to do something with WWE at first, but WWE didn't respond to them?
So the thing I heard and the rumor was that once they got big and people found out AJ was a wrestler, AJ's like, maybe we can capitalize and I can have a match or do something. And so he asked his, I guess, manager or publicist or whoever, hey, maybe we do something with WWE. And they couldn't get in with WWE. I don't know if WWE ghosted them. WWE said no, they just couldn't reach out. But I guess like their manager reached out to WWE and AEW. They would have preferred WWE just at first, but AEW was the one that bit. That's the word going around. So I don't know if AEW or WWE ever said no, but it was just AEW said yes before. Faster, quicker. Yeah. And they just like, all right, cool, we'll go with them. And plus the QT relationship really helped as well because he's known QT since 20 years ago.
Wait, didn't he also break his foot before the match, or was it during the match?
So Fightful had reported before. AJ in his social media video said, I broke my foot during the match, I think right around the flying clothesline spot. So it wasn't before, which means that Fightful report was incorrect. According to AJ himself. So then we had the ROH World title on the line. Chris Jericho, the Nueve, defending against Tomohiro Ishii. And apparently I didn't even remember this. It was 2 years almost to the day or whatever when Jericho was champion last and defended the title against Ishii. So
yeah, I believe this is his second time as Ring of Honor champion.
Second time as Ring of Honor champion and second time as champion defending against Ishii.
First time he defended against Ishii, it was an absolute chop fest.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody.
Yeah. So Big Bill was on commentary here. I'm pretty sure Brian Keith was as well, or at least we heard him. Big Bill's on commentary. It was just all the tropes of the learning tree. He's like, no one man is bigger or taller than another in the learning tree. We're all equals of the same size. And Shivani goes, but Bill, you're bigger than both of them. He's like, in theory, yes. But in spirit, we're all the same. I'm like, give Big Bill a raise. I love this guy.
I keep forgetting about him?
What?
When he was in WWE and they did the Greatest Royal Rumble, the last two in the ring were him and Braun Strowman.
Yep. And yeah.
And WWE actually had some big plans for him.
Oh, WWE Triple H was a big advocate of his. I bet you if he wasn't locked into TNA and then immediately went to AEW, Triple H probably would have tried to get him once he got that power to bring people back in. Because I had always heard Triple H thinks Cass has got it. Got something that he can use and push. Because you can't teach that.
I'm sure Vince liked him as well.
I hadn't heard either way. But I had heard for a while, Triple H always saw something in Bill. In old Big Cass. Enzo. Don't get me started on Enzo. Enzo was a fucking draw, I'll tell you what. They just fumbled that, and then the whole rape allegation thing, and yeah, it was the whole thing. Enzo segments would peak ratings.
Oh yeah, I don't know why Triple H. No, I don't know why Vince broke them up.
Well, eventually you got to. I mean, the New Day is about to break up. But that wasn't 10 years. I mean,
you don't know yet.
Hey, they broke up the Hardys. You would think they'd never break up them two. WrestleMania 25.
Yeah, but the Hardys, they're one of those guys they'd be used really well as singles as well.
Right. Well, I mean, they wanted to try Cass as Enzo worked as Cruiserweight champion. I will say that. He worked as Cruiserweight champion. Again, spiked ratings as Cruiserweight champion. But it was people backstage just didn't like him. Not that they didn't like the work he was doing. They just didn't like him. And once they found something that they can go, here's why we're firing you, even though they really didn't need that, but they wanted to justify it, boom, they jumped on it. The first thing they had, oh, we're letting you go. When it could have just been, oh, you're another one in all these releases. Budget cuts. Anyways, I love Big Bill. So, where was I? The match starts off with some chops and whatnot, just like their last match. Jericho hit a big boot, but Ishii bounced back with a lariat as Bill made a Devin Hester reference on commentary while making tree references that both Tony and Nigel said was, well, Tony kind of tried to, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, tried to like contradict, while Nigel was like, this is very insightful. Great knowledge from Big Bill over here. Both men in the ring fought on the apron at one point. And I get what they were trying to do. Jericho tried to do a spike DDT, but Ishii kind of flipped his body up just a little too early, so it looked hokier than it even did. Because the way Ishii sold it, I think he was like just a step ahead, unfortunately. It all looked funny and cool and whatever. Back in the ring, Jericho opted to start a slap battle, which did nothing but wake up Ishii. Jericho is now bleeding from the mouth at this point as things went to a commercial break with a slap exchange throughout. Back from the break, the slaps continued. But they went up to the top rope and Jericho hit a superplex, which Ishii popped right up from, basically no sold. The slaps picked back up until finally Jericho hit a release German suplex. Jericho wanted a Judas effect, but Ishii threw a lariat at the same time and both collapsed. Both then got up slowly, rose to their feet. Jericho hit a fireman's carry slam into a lion salt for a 2. Jericho then landed a basically perfectly flush Judas effect and then a code breaker, but Ishii kicked out a 1, stumbled to his feet, kicked away a Walls of Jericho attempt, hit a charging tackle headbutt, and got a 2 off of it. There's a sliding D avoided by Jericho, but then Ishii, of all people, just comes out of here nowhere with the code breaker and then hits a lariat and gets a 2. Ishii wanted another sliding D, but Jericho hit 2 more of the Judas effects right on the button and then pinned Ishii to pick up the victory. So there we go. Jericho retains the title and moves one step closer to the next ROH pay-per-view on, I want to say, December 19th in the Hammerstein Ballroom. What do you think of the match?
I thought the match was all right. I mean, Jericho was going to retain anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see Jericho losing. No.
I feel like what's going to happen is eventually they're going to get Mark Brisco back feuding with Jericho. Mark Brisco is going to get the belt back.
But do they do that by the Final Battle pay-per-view? Because Final Battle is before World's End, so Brisco is going to be busy in the Continental Classic.
Probably Final Battle. I mean, I don't see why not. It'll probably be like a Ring of Honor feud only.
I don't know. It's weird with Jericho having the Ring of Honor belt because, like, last time he had the Ring of Honor belt, I believe he barely, and I'm going to look it up really fast, barely even appeared on Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor didn't even have a TV deal at the time yet.
They still don't. They're just on freaking Honor Club like they have been.
Well, they didn't even do Honor Club back then.
It was before.
The only thing they did was,
so it was before Tony brought it back. Okay.
They only did Ring of Honor pay-per-views and
gotcha.
all like the Ring of Honor belts were like defended on AEW for the most part.
I remember now. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Yeah, see, the whole Claudio build was all on AEW television when he lost the title to Claudio at Final Battle 2022. Yeah, see, I'm looking here. Yeah, he didn't appear on a single episode of Ring of Honor. But when did he win the belt? That's what I'm trying to see. Jericho defeated Claudio, Dynamite Grand Slam 2022. Gotcha. And then him and Claudio feuded for a while. He defended against Dalton Castle. He defended against Colt Cabana. He defended against Bryan Danielson, Claudio, and Sammy Guevara. Full Gear. Then they had the Ishii defense on 11/23/2022. Yeah. Literally, Jericho's ever only appeared on one Ring of Honor branded show. Ring of Honor Final Battle 2022. So as we move forward, Renee Paquette's backstage with Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana, who said he's in a rebuilding phase and he's doing okay. He's never been hit by anybody as hard as he was hit by Bobby Lashley. And as he says that, Max Caster walks by and kind of, giggles and laughs. And Strickland goes, "Hey, you! What's so funny?" Caster said, Chicago is where he pinned Strickland to win the AEW World Tag Team titles. Caster called himself the best wrestler alive and brought up Strickland's house fire as Strickland flipped out on him. So they just love making Max Caster look like a geek, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Caster then got his ass beat by Swerve. Swerve slammed him onto a bunch of equipment boxes. Swerve punched the shit out of him. He fell off the equipment box. He then punted him in the ribs as Nana had to usher Strickland away. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Max Caster looks like just a geek again. Nothing to it, but we're seeing some aggression come out of Swerve. I saw someone on Twitter go, "Is this a Swerve heel turn?" No, it's more of just him letting his frustrations out because he's lost on the last 3 pay-per-views. Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and he introduces Hangman Adam Page. This whole thing was weird. So he's in the ring. Excalibur tells us Orange Cassidy is not medically cleared following having chemicals splashed in his face after the pay-per-view. And they will give us an update when they know more on his condition. Schiavone brings up Page losing to Jay White, attacking Christopher Daniels, which I've heard might lead to a Hangman Christopher Daniels match. And then helping Christian Cage nearly win the world title, or at least get a shot. Page says if Daniels ever gets in his way again, he ain't getting back up. Page said that he kept up his end of the deal at Full Gear and would have been home for Thanksgiving as the AEW World Champion, but Christian Cage failed. It should have never been Swerve's title. Should have never been Danielson's, never been Moxley's title. It should have always been his. And then Excalibur has to try and explain this to us, he literally goes, "I think I know what he's trying to get at. If he would have helped Christian win the title, he would have got the first defense from Christian. Christian would have then defended against him first before anybody." I'm like, so what? The plan was you help Christian get the belt, and then Christian defends it against you tonight on this episode of Dynamite? I don't know. But it was so whatever they said, they really felt like, oh shit, yeah, that didn't make sense. Excalibur, try to explain, make something up. Then Switchblade comes out, old Jay White. He did his whole guns up for the gold thing, and then asked Page, "Hey, what happened in our match? I beat you a Wrestle Dream, and I beat you a Full Gear. That's 2 losses, buddy. If anyone deserves a shot at the AEW World title, it's not you, it's me. If you want a reminder, I'll happily give you another chance, though." Pac then appeared and attacked Jay White, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is all kinds of just whatever. He swept the leg and chucked him into the barricade as Wheeler Yuta then jumped in and attacked Hangman in the ring. White unintentionally made the save, clearing the ring of Pac and Yuta before Page would then drop him. Then Marina would jump in the ring, and she freaking blasted Hangman in the face with his briefcase. Luckily, he got his hands up because she swung for the fences. You would have thought that she was at a birthday party trying to get all the damn candy out of that piñata. She swung so hard. So she then goes to swing the briefcase at Switchblade, and Jay White grabs her for the Blade Runner, and he grabs her, and he's holding her, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, Moxley's not here. What's going to happen? And he's like, he's not going to hit her with this move. And then all of a sudden, eventually, Moxley comes out, stops him. They take this fucker out so hard that he's laying on the ground motionless, and they're all standing above him, just beating him. Just stomps and stomps and stomps. You would have thought this was a East LA Compton beatdown. Tell you what. Freaking, this man is out. Not responding, just laying there motionless, and they're just stomping on him. And Jay White's Who would care now about Jay White challenging for the belt? Not me, because they made him look like a loser here. So Shafir then at one point hits him with the judo throw, the mother's milk submission. White's out. Death Riders beat the crap out of him. Pac, they then eventually pick him up, and Pac cracks him in the face with the briefcase. What did you think of this segment? I don't think it really did many people any favors.
It really didn't. I think Jay White might be next in line for the world title.
I think they're going 4-way. I think it could be Mox defending against Christian. Maybe Christian. We didn't see Christian tonight, which was weird. But maybe Christian, Hangman, and Jay White. Or at least a triple threat with Jay White and Hangman.
Nah, I don't think the only way I see Christian in that match is if he has to like sign his contract.
Right. I can see. I get that.
But does Christian successfully cash in the contract though?
No, because their dumb reasoning is not just so in WWE, Money in the Bank is give the referee the briefcase, say I'm cashing in, and as long as the ref rings the bell, that's your cash in. In AEW, you literally need to tell the ref, hey, I'm cashing in. The ref then says, okay, sign the contract here in the ring. So then you got to open it up. You got to get a pen. You got to sign it. And then the ref's got to ring the bell and it's official. So because Christian has never signed it in the ring, the match has never been official. The cash in has never actually happened, which is dumb.
No, but like, do you think he'll actually once he actually does cash it in, do you think it'll be successful?
You're asking if I think he'll be successful. I thought you meant have he actually has the cash in happened or not?
No.
Okay,
no.
gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. I apologize then. I misunderstood. No. I don't. If it's Moxley, no. If it's somebody else, maybe. But not Moxley. Not against Moxley, no.
Do you know what I think I can totally see this happening, but I don't want this to happen. So let's say at World's End, we get Moxley versus Darby for the world title. Darby wins, and then Christian Cage comes out, beats down Darby, cashes in the contract, and now Christian Cage is the new world champion.
I think Darby and Mox for the title, World's End's too soon. I think they're going to stretch this out.
Revolution, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, Mox needs a challenge. Mox needs a challenger for the World's End pay-per-view on December 28th. I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe Hangman, maybe Jay White, maybe both of them, maybe Chris. I don't know. But I just don't see Darby in the mix, and that's why they put him in the Continental Classic to keep him busy. Basically, storyline-wise, Tony's reasoning is, oh yeah, Moxley keeps going after the Death Riders, but now he's busy in this tournament, so he's going to lay off of them.
I mean, Darby keeps going after the Death Riders.
Right.
I mean, I think at World's End, it might be a triple threat, Hangman and Jay White versus Mox.
Very possible, especially based off of tonight. Based off the pay-per-view, I thought 4-way, but with no Christian tonight, I'm now leaning more 3-way.
The only way Christian's going to be in that match is if he cashes in. I don't think they're just going to give him a world title shot while he still has the contract.
And that was going to be my next question too is, why would they... Well, I mean, we've seen it in WWE. The guy that's got the Money in the Bank briefcase somehow gets the title shot. So I don't know. Fonzie says...
Seth Rollins got a title shot while he held a briefcase.
Exactly. So we'll see how it all does go, but I just wish it was more clear. I think it's pretty clear, triple threat, like you've said, but I don't know. It feels like triple threat now. But we've got 1 month to build it up. So Claudio then finally comes out as he's got a match in the Continental Classic, and they're like, hey, these guys are so confident in their 4 that they didn't even need Claudio tonight. They let Claudio just be focused on his Continental Classic match against Ricochet. We go from there. They also aired a new commercial video package hyping up the World's End pay-per-view with the Death Riders. Cool little video. And then we had the first match of the Gold League. Claudio Castagnoli against Ricochet. Really good match. And their baldness got over. Did you notice that? Them both being bald got over in this match.
Really?
You didn't hear the chants?
No.
There were, I wish I could play the clip because I have the clip right here. But there were bald forever and this is bald chants during this match. Which is weird, but okay. And then, hold on. Let me read you this tweet from Tony Khan from during this match. I need to read this out loud. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. It would be right here. You all need to hear this if you didn't see it already. Got it right here on the screen. Tony Khan tweeted this. Justified bald forever chants for Ricochet and Claudio in the first match of the Gold League on Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite, live on both East and West Coast right now. Thank you all for watching AEW right now on TBS. Happy Thanksgiving year. He said, justified bald forever chants. What does bald forever even mean? And how do you justify a bald forever? What? That makes no sense to me. What is a justified bald forever chant? And what does a bald forever chant even mean? Hey, both of you guys, don't let your hair grow.
You remember that viral clip whenever like Ricochet was on Instagram Live one time and someone asked him why you bald? I think Ricochet was like, "Why are you asking a dumb question like that?
Yeah.
Why you bald?
Yeah.
Why you ugly?" And there's literally comments in that video saying, I saw 2 comments in there that said go to AEW. Like, that guy predicted the future.
I mean, a lot of people thought he would eventually end up in AEW. But
I thought he was one of those guys that at least kind of end out his career in WWE, considering how much Triple H liked him.
doesn't mean he can't ever go back. Do his 3 years in AEW and then go back. I mean, technically, that's what Cody did. Cody's endgame was always to get back to WWE, and he eventually did. He did that Drew McIntyre as well. Drew left, did some indies, did some TNA, boom. I mean, you kind of say the same for Bobby, then Bobby left again, so I don't know. As far as this match goes, go for it.
I think Bobby's probably done like wrestling in WWE. I say the only way he goes back.
Did you hear what he said about his last year or so? Did you hear what he said about
retire?
Well, he basically said, hey, no hard feelings. I have nothing against Triple H. I'm not a Triple H guy. I was a Vince guy. I was the guy that Vince liked. I was the guy that Vince pushed. I'm not one of Triple H's guys, and I don't take any offense to that. I don't, take that personally, but I was a Vince guy, I'm not a Triple H guy. He literally said that in an interview recently.
I think that's how MVP was as well.
Oh, no, MVP. I'm not even going to get started with what MVP said. MVP played the race card.
MVP was basically like, I liked working for Vince, but once management changed.
Yeah, he said that too, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, that's where like everything changed for him.
So remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, questions, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat or Twitch bits. I always butcher that. Twitch bits. Say that 5 times fast on Twitch. So as far as this match does go, Claudio enjoyed the advantage early with a power game as he ate one Hurricane Runner from Ricochet, but blocked a second attempt. He tried a choke slam, but Ricochet managed to Hurricane Runner out of it as Claudio regrouped outside and Ricochet did the Spider-Man flip pose in the ring. Claudio then caught a dive and dropped Ricochet throat first on the barricade. After firing off an uppercut, Claudio pressed Ricochet into the ring, but took too long to regroup, and Ricochet, hit a dive. There's a springboard attempt back inside that was thwarted as Claudio knocked out the ropes and it gained the control into the break. The crowd seemed to be coming up for this, and this is when we got the bald chants and whatnot. Kind of weird. I don't know the attendance for tonight. We can look it up here in a minute. Place did sound a little empty, I will say. At times, place did sound empty, especially in that main event when the commentary went out and it just really sounded empty. I mean, we can look really... I'll finish this match, and then we'll look at the rest of the ticks and see what they said for the attendance. So, come back from the break. Ricochet hit a dive through the ropes and went up to the top. Looked for a dive, but Claudio caught him into a backbreaker and a big boot for a 2. Claudio wanted a pop-up uppercut, but Ricochet stood on his chest, backflipped out into like a round the world head scissors, and then another dive off the top to the floor. Back inside the ring, there was a springboard clothesline that connected, followed by a lion salt for a near fall. Ricochet tried a springboard off the second ropes, but Claudio hit an uppercut in midair and got a 2 off of it. There's a sharpshooter that transitioned into a crossface by Castagnoli, who then wanted a Ricola bomb. Ricochet rolled through and got a 2. Claudio then chucked Ricochet to the floor and into the barricade. As he wanted to get the count out victory, Ricochet did break the count. Claudio then hit him with a big time lariat when he jumped back in the ring and pinned him 1, 2, 3. What'd you think of this match?
I'm surprised Ricochet lost.
I'm not. You got Claudio in what's supposed to be the most dominant group in the company. If he loses, they lose some of their edge.
Like, here's my whole thing with this. Like, when Ricochet left, like, WWE, he basically said, like, I already knew my ceiling there, so I wanted to, like, be better somewhere else. I feel like in AEW, he's being used just the same as he was in WWE.
Don't get me started. Trust me. I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks. Said it on last week's Dynamite review. I said it on the Full Gear review. Yeah, he's in the same spot he was in WWE.
Like, he just lost to Takeshita. Now it's like, okay, now what? If he's not going to win the Continental Classic, which I know there's still plenty of time, but, like, I don't think he's winning it.
So, go for it. Go for it.
I think the finals might be Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher.
So, when I did my initial predictions, I said, a lot of people were saying Okada and Ospreay. I said Okada and Ricochet are my finals. I think that would be a great match.
It would be, but I think the finals, if we're going storyline wise, I could totally see it being Fletcher and Ospreay getting his revenge.
I could see that, but my prediction was, and I'm probably wrong on this one, Tony Khan brings Ricochet in, gives him a big push, gives him that shot twice now at the International Championship, and he doesn't win it. So, for being a good sport about all the losses, I think Ricochet maybe comes out Continental Champion after everything, maybe beating Okada. Because, hey, we're on that downturn of the elite right now, and Okada's the only one left to really get beat.
It's really interesting what they're going to do with Okada's without the elite now.
I mean, technically, they're only gone for another month. They'll be back at Wrestle Dynasty. They're challenging for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles. So they're only gone for another month.
But do they turn him babyface if the Young Bucks will be babyface? Because the rumor is they might against the Death Riders.
Yes. So if he stays with the elite, which I believe, whatever they do, he do.
Like, I'm just not a fan of them using Okada as just like a guy with the Bucks.
Yep. I don't like him as a sidekick either.
Like, that's how Adam Cole was when he joined AEW. Like, when he first joined, he was basically just a sidekick with the Young Bucks.
Exactly.
Like Okada, he ain't no sidekick. He should be like the main guy, whatever faction he's in.
Oh, 100%. So as far as tickets do go and like attendance for tonight, you never know the attendance. It's just we know how many tickets were distributed. So the last time they were in this building, the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois, which was back in July 3rd of this year, just a couple of months ago, they did 5,291 tickets distributed. This time, they set it up for 4,546. So they didn't even try to do the same, and distributed just under 4,000, 3,952 distributed. So it was more people than normal, but it still felt and sounded empty. What's the capacity of the Wintrust Arena? Let me see. Wintrust Arena. I don't know if this is one of those 20,000 seaters, a 10,000 seat building. But really, it was almost half full. It just didn't sound it. Maybe their miking was bad. But
Probably.
anywho, great match between Claudio and Ricochet. Also, we do know that, and I forgot about this, Collision is being filmed tonight. So we will have most likely Collision spoilers by the end of this podcast. Possibly.
Collision's going to be in St. Louis on December 12th. I filled out that media pass for it, but even if I get accepted, I probably can't go because I have an exam the next day.
Aw, dang.
So I was like, crap.
Right.
I thought December 12th was like a Saturday.
No, right now they're doing a lot of like non-live collisions. But as we get into the new year, they're going to get back on track with more live collisions and this and that and so forth. Tony said it's just a scheduling thing right now with the holidays and everything. And it's just making it easier right now for travel.
Do you still watch Collision on Saturdays?
Not on Saturdays, no. I have it recorded on my DVR. Sometimes I'll watch it right before I go to bed on a Saturday night, especially if I hear, hey, this was on the show, might be worth watching. But then on like a Sunday, if I'm working, I'll put it on and just listen, see it in the background if I'm doing something. And that's not even every week. So most weeks I don't watch Collision, but I don't know, half the month, maybe every other week I'll catch it, or parts of it at least. So moving forward, Reba gets backstage with Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis as she asked about Fletcher's biggest win ever, the win at Full Gear against Will Ospreay. Callis said they destroyed Will Ospreay because that's what people do to get ahead in this business. They prove what Callis said all along. Fletcher is better than Will Ospreay. They're just getting started. Fletcher said that they made it certain that he's better than Ospreay in every single way imaginable and tells people, tune into Collision. And you see me in the Continental Classic where the proto star belongs. That was a good promo from all involved.
Yeah.
So we got a little more confusion here with this damn Adam Cole stuff. So Adam Cole comes down. He's got the Kingdom with him. And he said, I'm sick and tired of playing your games, Max. Quit ducking me and quit being a little bitch. Said after what MJF did to Roddy, he swears on his mother that he'll beat Max within an inch of his life. All of a sudden, music plays that I probably never heard before. And I see it says conglomeration. I'm like, oh, it's probably Kyle. And then out comes Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle comes down and cuts a not that stellar promo. Like he had no heart behind this, no life at all. It was more just a, hey, that's what they told me to say, so I'm going to say it. Kind of just like that, too. O'Reilly comes out and he said, with all due respect, Cole fought Max and it didn't work. So just let it go. Move on. O'Reilly was then going to call out MJF and Cole cuts him off and said, what O'Reilly said to him last week stuck with him. He can't let his friends fight his battles anymore. He wants MJF. O'Reilly said, it's not for you. I'll do it for Roddy. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God, are you kidding me? Now another one of your friends wants to fight MJF. This is getting a little, yeah. All of a sudden we hear piano playing, ding, 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 and MJF appears on the screen because this fucker can't come to work on a Wednesday. Show up once every 5-6 weeks at the pay-per-view. MJF is there. He goes, hey, guys, calm down a little bit. Because the focus shouldn't be on me. It's next week. Next week, we have the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. And the winner gets to challenge me, the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Adam Cole goes, oh, well, I'm the first to enter into that Battle Royal. And then Kyle O'Reilly goes, well, you know what? I'm the second to enter into the Battle Royal. And he slams the microphone in Adam Cole's chest. And then MJF's just like, great. And he goes, let me play you guys out. And he plays the piano. Da, da, da. And then O'Reilly and Cole are like arguing. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are standing there kind of just like, what the frick is going on right now? And that's how the segment ends. Just more of Max can't show up to work. Adam Cole wants to fight him. But no, this other guy that's kind of used to at least sort of been close to Adam Cole wants to fight him too now. Yeah. This is dumb. I didn't like this at all. This is the one thing on the show. Like, I like this less than the Mercedes Camille stuff. What'd you think of all this?
Honestly, like when Adam Cole first came back, I was kind of excited for the whole him and MJF stuff feud to start again, but now I want it to end.
Yeah. I'm over it. Over it.
Well, I think what killed it was like they're doing it like whole backwards. Like Adam Cole's now the baby face and MJF is the heel. When in reality, Adam Cole was the one who turned heel on MJF in the first place.
Yeah. It's not been done well at all. So Calber then tells us coming up at Wrestle Dynasty, we're going to have a 4-way with the winner becoming the first ever International Women's Cup winner. Here in AEW, the way we get to our woman representative is we're going to have a mini tournament. We're going to have 2 singles matches, and the winners of those 2 matches will then face off. A winner is coming to go on to the January 5th Tokyo Dome show and the finals of the Women's International Cup. And so we look at the brackets here in the 4 women to represent AEW. It is Queen Aminata, Jamie Hayter, Serena Deeb, and Willow Nightingale. I could tell you with a certainty where this is going. Who do you think is going to Wrestle Dynasty out of these 4 women?
Probably Willow.
Oh, 100% Willow is what I think. And it's like, if this is supposed to be, though, because from all we're hearing, this is the one woman's match on the show. They might add another. I don't know. But if this is supposed to be your top female representing your brand, it is CMLL versus Ring of Honor versus AEW versus Stardom. Put your best in there. If this is supposed to be your best representative, then why aren't your champions involved? Why is it not possible to have your champion representing you? Why is Mercedes not involved in this? Why is Mariah May not involved in this? It makes no sense. You look at Ring of Honor, there's Athena. She wants to represent ROH. But it's like, for all we know, Mariah May, AEW Women's World Champion, don't care. She's just gone crazy on Mina. I don't get it at all. You're supposed to put your most important best to represent you. And they're not. No offense, but Queen Aminata? Queen Aminata? Yeah, no.
Who?
Exactly. Queen Aminata. What is she a queen of? What is she the queen of?
Nothing.
Exactly. So, you get that match, Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. And it wasn't bad. It was okay. It was just a TV match, of course. Nothing special, but nothing that I can complain about either because they worked pretty good together. Hayter tried grounding Aminata early on in the opening moments of the match, but Aminata sprung into a hip toss. Hayter was up first and fired off a forearm before driving Aminata into the corner repeatedly. There's a series of chops followed up with Aminata turning the tables, and the two kind of started each other for a second, and then they went at it with more chops and forearms. Hayter reversed a corner whip and drove Aminata into the corner with a suplex as things went to commercial. When things finally returned, both ladies continued slugging it out, cutting one off and then hitting some moves, and then they got cut off and hit some moves and traded near falls and so forth. Aminata blocked a lariat into a snap suplex as Hayter stumbled into the ropes, allowing Aminata to hit a charging kick that leveled Hayter to the floor. Back inside the ring, Aminata wanted a slam, but Hayter slid out and tried to go for the big boot, but Aminata caught it into a facebuster. Aminata was up top as she wanted a double stomp, rolled through, and Hayter connected with the hate breaker. She wanted to go for the haterade after that, but Aminata rolled her up and got a 2. Both ladies then kind of scrambled around for a little while, trading pin attempts and whatnot, and then Hayter sank in a choke, which Aminata rolled out of for a 2. Hayter then was the first up, hit the big boot, hit the haterade, wiped out Quinn Aminata, and pinned her 1, 2, 3. Jamie Hayter will now face the winner of Serena Deeb and Willow Nightingale at Winter is Coming. Pretty sure it's going to be Willow, and then Willow's going to beat her. What'd you think of the match?
Match was just there.
Yeah.
It's kind of just there.
So, post-match, the lights go out. All of a sudden, spotlights up on the top of the ramp. Everyone's like, oh my God, is this Julia Hart? And then it's just over. Done. Played Jamie's music, and we're good. Well, there's a chance, I think. Go for it. Go for it.
I'm probably going to say the exact same thing you're going to say. But I think once they do Willow versus Jamie Hayter, Julia Hart's going to screw over Jamie Hayter.
Yep. And then Julia's return match will be at World's End with Jamie Hayter, which will probably end up being a 0-hour match, unfortunately. So then you get Renee Paquette backstage with Mina Shirakawa. I think they're back. I don't know where they are. They're in a studio somewhere. Nice big setup. And she asked Mina about what happened at Full Gear. And she says she's heartbroken. Mina said she knew this day would come, though, because she knows Mina, or Mariah. And if Mariah would have done that to Tony, then she would have done that to anybody. This is very unfortunate, she says. This is the real Mariah May. She is selfish and will kill anybody that gets too close to her that she thinks can take what she has, basically. She said, and if this is the real Mariah, then it's time to introduce her to the real Mina. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Mariah May, attacks her, knocks her out of their chair, busts a bottle over her head, and beats her down with the AEW Women's Belt, whipping her with it, basically, telling her that she wants Mina. I want Mina. I want Mina. And then this is when Excalibur lets us know a winner is coming. Mariah May will defend the AEW Women's World Championship against Mina Shirakawa in 2 weeks. All right. But it's like, where's this coming from? I don't get why she's attacking Mina. She's just crazy. And yeah. Okay. Like, what's the real reason? They haven't even told us why. I wish tonight we would have learned why she attacked Mina. She attacked Tony, and they eventually told us because that was always her plan. To get in good with Tony, to eventually, get her off get her guard down, attack her, beat her down, and then get a shot at the title. With Mina, it's like, okay, Mina got nothing that you want. What is the reason? At least with Tony, there was a plan of get in good, turn on her, take her title. I don't get it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't really get it either.
The thing that's made this the worst is that Mina Shirakawa has been a comedy character in AEW. So it's like, why should we care?
Yeah.
Now, when you look at her stuff in Stardom, or like when she goes and works Rev Pro, it's different. Mina Shirakawa. It's a great Mina Shirakawa. It's a dominant, just great pro wrestler, Mina Shirakawa. But then they bring her to AEW and she does comedy stuff. She's shaking her titties and going at it with Harley Cameron. But with that, we do have our main event. But before we talk about our main event, we got to tell you about the sponsor of this video. That's Aura Frames. An Aura digital picture frame is the perfect gift to share legendary photos of your traditions with people you love. You can preload the years and years of memories to make the perfect gift. This is not the digital picture frame you remember from the early 2000s. There's no USB or SD card and no hassle. Celebrate and commemorate all your best holiday memories. And we mean all of them, because Aura Frame has unlimited storage. One of the many reasons it's the best digital picture frame, according to Wirecutter, The Strategist, and Wired. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code PWU at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code PWU, or our link in the description below. The deal is exclusive to our listeners and viewers, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. So as far as our main event does go, Brody King versus Darby Allin. And as I stated earlier, this is a match in the Continental Classic. It's the first match, for both men. But it didn't mean much to me. It didn't feel important. It didn't feel like, oh, this is a big tournament match. Because it's like, oh, we saw this a month and a half ago at World's End. We just saw this match. It's like, what? Anyways, Allin comes out, and he's all taped up and whatnot. And Excalibur goes, he's not just hurt on the outside, he's hurt on the inside as well. And he's got a leg injury, maybe the left leg or the thigh or the thing. And he just starts rattling off leg parts. I'm like, which is it, Excalibur? Anywho, Darby's knee was the thing taped up. He has his knee all wrapped up. Darby offered a handshake to King, who almost seemed reluctant, but accepted. King then blocked a kick and basically backflipped Darby down onto the mat. Look, Darby went to kick him, he grabbed it, and Darby just went, freaking right off the bat. We're like, oh, it's one of these matches. Darby's going to let him ragdoll him and throw him all around. And that's exactly what he did. Darby flattened himself onto the mat. At one point, it was all King who kept chopping the hell out of Darby, who fell from the top to the floor as things went to a break. And Allin basically hadn't got any offense and maybe like one little shot by the time we went to this commercial break, a couple of minutes in. Coming back for the break, it was still all King until finally King missed a senton charge into the corner. Into the barricade. They called it a cannonball, more like a wrecking ball, because he knocked out a camera, knocked out commentary, and it just felt weird for about 2 minutes. Maybe not that long. It felt like that long. Probably not that long. Finally, they get everything fixed. Commentary's back, and it just was weird. So Allin wanted a coffin drop, but his legs were swept out. He was in a tree of woe. Brody then hit a corner cannonball and got a 2 off of it. King looked for a superplex, but Allin bit his hands and head. And also, going back to the whole commentary was out, how weird was it when the come back from commercial, you don't hear commentary, and you just hear Darby going, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't think he'll
didn't even hear any.
Hold on. I don't think he'll be mad that I say this, but Nick messaged me and goes, I was in the other room when they came back from commercial. I heard Darby moaning, and I thought someone turned on a porn.
I thought fans just got dead during this match. I was like, wait, what's going on?
There was a portion when the crowd was kind of down a little bit. Anyways, at one point, Darby connects with an avalanche code red for a near fall. King rolls to the outside, where he's immediately met with a charging Allin dive and a top rope coffin drop. Allin connected on another one on the down to King as he went for a backslide. King, though, caught him in a rear naked choke. Allin rolled through, got a 2 off of it. King was right back into trapping Darby in a choke. King released the hold and destroyed Allin with a freaking great-looking Gonzo bomb and pinned him to pick up the victory. So, match ends, and immediately all of a sudden there's Claudio. And they're like, hey, just so you guys know, the match is over. Claudio can be out here. The match is over. Claudio can be out here. Claudio's got a chair. He looks like he's going after Darby. Brody King then jumps in the ring and kind of just walks over. Claudio goes, I got a chair, but I'm not going to use it. Nope. Big guy. I'm done. He just puts the chair down, and they tell us next week, Gold League match, Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli. And the show goes off the air with the two kind of staring at each other. Claudio's on the apron. Brody King's in the ring. Claudio puts that chair down and is like, I'm good. We don't need to do this week. We can do it next week, big guy. What do you think of the match and the post-match to end the show with, as you stated earlier, with no overrun?
Match was good. Post-match, I thought the post-match was all right. Basically just setting up the match for next week.
Exactly.
I mean, we've seen the match before, and it was a great match. So this match should still live up to the same hype.
Yes. Totally agree on that one. So with all of that, check the polls. You know what we thought? We thought. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's AEW Dynamite. Let's refresh all these polls. I don't see collision spoilers yet, but I haven't fully looked. We'll look again here in a moment. Also, when it comes to the Continental Classic, I guess I can talk about that. We do have updates with that as far as the Gold League does go. Claudio and Brody King are sitting at 3 points, with Ricochet, Darby Allin, Juice Robinson, and Will Ospreay at 0 points. Well, because Juice and Will haven't had matches yet. And then in the Blue League, Shelton Benjamin is at 3 points. Mark Briscoe, Kazuchika Okada, Beast Mortos, Kyle Fletcher, and Daniel Garcia are all sitting at 0 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna exit and get back in because my video is like super slow on.
Go for it.
On here.
You're good. Why are these polls not? There we go. Okay, so as far as the threads poll, well, actually, we have the Facebook broadcast group poll, broadcast channel poll. It was all right is actually winning on Facebook. Again, I don't have percentages, but it's telling me
better.
It was all right is winning the Facebook poll. Then I didn't like it, and then I liked it. So most people on Facebook thought it was just an okay show. As far as the threads poll does go, 71% liked the show. 29% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 42% liked the show. 42% didn't like the show. 14% thought it was just all right. That's wild. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 67% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, and 14% didn't like it. Some of the comments are very enjoyable, and unlike After All Out, they seem to be headed in the right direction. As the live poll does go. Also, people, I know I read the comments on the community poll, but if you're going to try and put a comment in the community poll to get around not donating a super chat, that's just bullshit. Because I saw your question. I'm not going to name names, but I saw your question in the live chat. If you're not going to donate a super chat, I'm not going to answer your question. So don't go putting it somewhere else to try to get me to answer your question. Support the channel. Donate a super chat, even if it's just $1 or $2. I know that probably came off like an asshole thing, like a dick move, but hey, just saying. As far as the live poll does go, 64% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and 13% didn't like it. As far as everybody that voted on Twitch, they all liked the show. With that, let's see really quick. Do we have collision spoilers? I mean, we should soon, but I don't see any yet. Give me 1 second. AEW collision spoilers. Not that I'm not that I'm seeing. So with that, before we do wrap it all up, we are going to do our predictions for this coming Saturday's WWE Survivor Series event. I have the full card right here. We have 5 matches in total. No pre-show matches because WWE typically don't do that no more. So, coming up this Saturday night from Vancouver, BC is WWE Survivor Series War Games. 5 matches have so far been announced for the show. So we're going to talk about them all and give you our predictions on who we think could be walking out victorious. First off, we do know that the United States Championship will be on the line when LA Knight defends against Shinsuke Nakamura. This is actually a tough one. I'm going to let you go first. I'm going to let you take it first. Knight or Nakamura?
I really don't like the setup for this match because basically it's like, what did Nakamura do to earn it? He basically just attacked like LA Knight when he came back. Is like, when was the last time Nakamura even had a match
on television?
on television.
May, I want to say. He's been working house shows, taking losses every week, but on television, I want to say it was a Raw before the draft. I can tell you right now. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. It was Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura. Last televised match, he lost to Sheamus on April 22nd, 2024 on Raw. That was his last televised match.
And
No, I agree. I agree with you. If they want him to be a challenger for the U.S. title, yes, have him attack LA Knight, but also give him 2 wins or something. Have him go out there and squash Berto. Have him go out there and beat Apollo Crews or something. Don't even need to be name guys. Just anything.
I'm gonna go LA Knight.
Yeah, I am too. I would love to see Nakamura win this. My heart says Nakamura, but my mind says no. There's no build.
I mean, I think eventually Shinsuke could be LA Knight, but
yes.
But right now, I'd probably say LA Knight.
So moving forward, in a triple threat match with the Intercontinental Championship on the line, Braun Breaker will be defending against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. I'm going to go off the wall and say this is finally the time Sheamus wins the IC title because he could pin Ludwig Kaiser and not Braun Breaker. So I'm going Sheamus. What do you got?
I know the fan favorite in this match is definitely Sheamus.
Yes. Is that your pick? Or
I'm going to go Sheamus, actually, because Sheamus doesn't even have to hold the belt that long. Because, I mean, I think he could still, like, drop it to Braun, but, like, I just think they already did that with Jey Uso. They had Jey Uso win, and then Braun got it back quickly.
Here's my one takeaway, or, like, not takeaway, but, like, my one gripe with that is, so Braun beats Sammy for the belt, pretty quickly loses it to Jey Uso, pretty quickly wins it right back. If he loses it here to Sheamus, I don't want him winning it back pretty quickly because I don't want it to be the flip-flop belt right now. I don't want the belt to just be like, change to you. The hot potato belt.
It's a hot potato.
So if Sheamus is going to come out victorious, give Sheamus like a 2-3 month reign. Let Sheamus hold that title for at least a little bit of significance. At least a little bit. That way it just doesn't diminish the meaning of the belt. And the belt is just getting flopped and flipped and all around. Yeah. In our third title match, with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line, Gunther will be defending against Damian Priest. As we said on our Monday Night Raw review, they couldn't be doing worse with Gunther right now in this confidence storyline or lack thereof. And it's like, they really want you to think that Damian Priest can beat him, which in the end, it's just going to be Gunther returning to old Gunther and beating his ass. So I'm saying Gunther.
I think Gunther has to win for this one.
Yeah, I think it needs to be Gunther. Get the hell away from this. He's got no confidence storyline. That is bad. That is horrible. That is not what we want. I get it. It's something. And so it plays up. Oh, yeah. Last time you beat me, you had help from a guy that didn't like me. So can you really beat me? Now, I get that. That would have been fine, but I don't like the unconfident Okada. Or not Okada. Gunther. Moving forward in our first of 2 War Games matches, we do have the Women's War Games match, where it is Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley taking on Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. You want to take this one first?
I'm going to say, I think the heels might win it. I say the heels because, like, there's no way you're going to have your 2, like, women's world champions lose.
I didn't think about it like that. You're not wrong there.
The only way I see them losing is if, like, somebody on the babyface squad pins, like, someone like a Candice LeRae.
Well, see, and that was literally going to be my prediction. The baby faces win. Candace takes the pin.
Which I don't think we've ever seen like a heel women's team win War Games on the main roster yet. Which I feel like this year might be the year.
Yeah. Here's a bold prediction. Nia Jax gets like put through a table inside War Games, and then Tiffany goes, "I'm cashing in on Nia in War Games." We haven't seen that before. That's a first. Cashing your briefcase on your War Games partner, or just at all in War Games.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, it's just
I don't think they go that far.
I don't either, but it's a bold prediction. I think she cashes in next Saturday night's main event.
Probably.
So I'm saying baby faces. You're saying heels.
Yep.
Now we have the men's War Games match. It is the Bloodline and Bronson Reed against the OG Bloodline and CM Punk. I'm going OG Bloodline and CM Punk.
I'm going to go the OG Bloodline as well. I don't think they have CM Punk lose on his 1 year anniversary of returning to WWE.
You do have that, yes. But I just was like, they're not putting the OG Bloodline back together just for Solo to beat him. Like, what, Solo going to pin Jimmy? Nah, I don't think so. I think, in the end, Roman or Punk pins Tongaloa. Maybe you can let Jay get that win. Maybe. But I think it's going to be Roman or Punk pinning Tongaloa. So OG Bloodline for me. OG Bloodline for you. I think the only match that we're different on is the Women's War Games. Other than that, we got similar predictions. So with that, guys, that is everything that we do know so far for this Saturday's WWE Survivor Series on pay-per-view, Peacock, and whatnot. So if we do hear anything further on the Survivor Series Premium Live event, we'll have it for you right here. Wrestling Unlimited.
You go back to your the Full Gear predictions. I think I won those.
Find them really fast. I have it written down. Can't find the paper. I know people. Dead air. Not good. Yeah, I can't find the paper. I had it here on my desk, and I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, dang. Let me check one more time for collision spoilers. Because now technically collision spoilers are important because Continental Classic matches. Let me just do one last sweep really fast to see. Nope, I don't see anything there. Let me look on Twitter really fast. Spoilers. Yeah, no, I don't see any collision spoilers yet. So once they are out, we will put up a video, put it up on the website, pwunlimited.co, let you know what happens at Collision since it was being filmed tonight. Actually, hold on. Is it Collision and Rampage they're filming tonight? Let me look at this really fast. Because it's a 3-hour block on Saturday of Collision and Rampage. Is it all tonight? Go to events, AEW tonight in the 27th. They don't even have tonight show up anymore. I don't know. Because they have nothing till next week. So they're filming 5 hours of content tonight. Actually 6 if they do an hour of Ring of Honor as well. Damn, that's a long taping. So if we do hear anything from the tapings, we will let you guys know. We do know that on Collision, we will have a Blue League match. Okada versus Daniel Garcia. Gold League match. Will Ospreay versus Juice Robinson. And another Blue League match. Kyle Fletcher versus the Beast Mortos. And Adam Hangman Page will take on Wheeler Yuta. On Rampage, Thunder Rosa will take on Harley Cameron in a hologram mask. Hechicero will take on Commander. The Beast Mortos will take on Serpentico, and Shibata, Atlantis Jr., and Mascara Dorada will take on Top Flight and Action Andretti. So with that, guys, that's all we got for you. Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, don't forget to follow us everywhere. Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. You can follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, Twitch, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, on Twitter, X, PW Unlimited. And remember, you can also listen to us on all podcast platforms. Have a great night. I'll see you back here Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching, we're going to hit up a